Chris. Talking tonight after a 0-0 draw with Bishop Stortford. But before we talk about the game, should we talk about the events of this week? Obviously, some sad news.
Yeah. I think that in ways the football's secondary, isn't it? We've had to mark the loss of a young man who lost his life this week, and it's just really hard to think like what Andy, his dad, and what the family and friends are actually going through. Obviously he's been with us recently and he was with us before, and you said it off camera, this wouldn't have been a game for him today. But a lad that had real quality. He was always quiet around the place, but he was always smiling. And I remember we'd won a game, and Tommy had come in and done his usual celebration, and I looked at D, and a big smile he had on his face, and yeah, I thought, you're there, mate, you're there. So yeah, it's been a strange week. It's been tough at the early part of the week, especially hearing that. Like I say, heart goes to the friends and family. Hopefully we've managed to raise a bit of money to put towards the fund. And
yeah, I will update on that, because the fundraising in the bar and that is still going on. Perfect. And I know that there's more to happen on that. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that and put something out on our socials.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully he's resting peacefully, mate. And my thoughts are with everyone. And yeah, it's just sad.
Very sad. But obviously everyone came together today. We marked it on the programme, and with a minute's applause, and you know, both every single fan I think joining in. But as we said, you know, that definitely wasn't a surface or a game that would have been suitable for someone like Devonte. It was a little bit of I don't know, like I think the conditions killed a lot of the quality.
Yeah, that was as nil-nil as nil-nil could possibly sound. I think they seem a little bit happier with a point than we maybe are. I think we've dropped a couple, if you ask me, but I don't think we've done enough to contest. I think we just sort of said it in there. I think the defensive version of everyone can be really happy with a clean sheet, but I think we've got to ask a bit more from every player as an attacker to create a bit more. We've had ample amount of opportunity to put the ball into their box. The ball has spent a lot of time in their box, and we haven't done enough to test it. Credit to their defending, but maybe a mark to the fact that we've got to be a bit more clinical and front-footed. So yeah, it weren't ever going to be for the purist, and obviously the weather coming down right at the start made it even tougher for how we probably wanted to go about the game, and we had to, a little bit like the Biggleswade one, just accept the conditions and try and sort of compete against it. And yeah, I think we've had enough time. I wouldn't say we've had enough chances. We've had enough time with the ball in their box to do more than maybe we have done. But we say all the time we'll play worse and win, and we'll play better and lose. So we just have to swallow it. We haven't lost, and if we say it, we can't lose, then if we can't win, then we don't lose.
Oh, I'm going to pick up on a positive. It's another clean sheet.
It is another clean sheet. I think that's our 12th. It's nice that we're producing those on a regular basis, and from a defensive perspective, I've got to tip my cap to the young lad, Ollie Reeve, who's coming from Stevenage.
Yep.
I thought that was a really solid debut.
Yeah.
Not just for us as a football club, but this standard as well. He's had a step 5 loan, which was short, but I thought he'd given a really strong account of himself. I don't remember him really getting beaten, and they've chucked 2 or 3 on him, and I think he sort of dealt with them and got his distances right. I thought his clearances were good. Considering he's done 1 training session, I think you've got to take credit to that. And yeah, hopefully he's come in and enjoyed it. Appreciates Jordan, Leon at Stevenage giving us the option to bring him in whilst Brights is suspended. So yeah, he can go home being a really happy young man today, and he's only going to get one of them, isn't he? My league debuts, and it's one that he can remember.
Yeah. On a surface he'll never forget, I reckon.
Yeah. I'm sure he don't play on that in academy football. But no, I think it's one of them, mate. The ball, you can't knock the endeavour. I think both teams have had a go at it. I think both teams have probably lacked a little bit of quality, but surface and the weather's going to make that tough, but we've got to get used to it because it ain't going to change. And the only thing that's going to happen is he's going to harden up at some point. And
yeah.
We need to make sure that we look after the ball a little bit better than we maybe have at times in clinical moments. So, yeah, we can celebrate the fact we ain't been beat nil, but it would have been nice.
And you got a clear midweek this week, and then Stortford back here next Saturday. Another tough game.
Yeah, I mean, we went to theirs, and on the day they were far better than we were, and it'd be nice to get some retribution for that. It gives us 2 sessions to go and work on a few things. So lads can get themselves in, we can work on a little bit of shape, pattern, whatever it is that we choose to work on, and be ready for it with fresh legs. The bench was exceptionally strong today.
Yeah.
And that's what I've sort of said in there. Like they've got to force me to pick them, not me pick them. And when you've got a bench like that, and you've got 2 or 3 that aren't in it as well, Tommy, Josh Dodu, Miggs, Tommy, Ruben, obviously injuries and that, but Miggs and Josh Dodu will be back fit, and that don't go into 16, and then 16 don't go into 11. So yeah, I think a few of them could be happy with their performance. Probably a few. I'd like to think a few will review their performances today and think they could have given us a bit more.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Mate, thank
Cheers.
You.